Have you ever fallen into a relationship that moved so fast it felt completely out of your control? A passing glance, a random conversation, and suddenly your whole inner world is flipped upside down. Your heart races. Your mind won't stop thinking about them, and you're left wondering, why am I so drawn to this person? Why them and not someone else? Is it fate or just impulsive emotions? The truth according to Carl Jung, the legendary psychoanalyst, is this: no one loves you by accident. Lover, more precisely, intense attraction always has a deeper cause. And most of those causes you can't see with the naked eye, because they live deep in the unconscious, inside your soul and theirs. So why do they fall in love with you? Not because you're beautiful, smart, or charming, but because you reflect something inside them, something they've been searching for. You're like a missing puzzle piece, a part of them that's been lost or hidden. In other words, they love you because you help them see themselves. In today's video, we're diving into 3 of Carl Jung's core psychological concepts, 3 powerful reasons why someone might fall for you. Projection. When people fall in love with the parts of themselves they haven't healed, Anima and Animus, the unconscious images that shape your romantic preferences, repeating love patterns, and why you keep attracting the same type of person over and over. Most importantly, you learn how to recognize these invisible patterns that drive your love life, so you can finally love freely, clearly, and completely. If you've ever felt an intense, unexplained pull towards someone, if you've been hurt by repeating the same relationship mistakes, then this video is for you. Start now, because once you understand these truths about love, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Part 1. Projection. When love doesn't see them, but sees yourself. 1. What is projection? According to Jung, we all have an unconscious minder, part of ourselves we can't fully see. And the things we don't understand or accept about ourselves, we tend to project onto others, especially the people we fall in love with. We don't see people as they are. We see them as we are. Carl Jung. In love, you're not just drawn to who they really are. You're often drawn to the image of them that lives inside you, a reflection of something that's missing, suppressed, or undeveloped within yourself. 2. Why do you feel so drawn to someone? It's not because they're perfect. It's because they awaken something in your soul. That fluttering, obsessive, this feels like destiny kind of love. It might actually be projection. They become a mirror reflecting dreams you gave up on, traits you were never allowed to express, emotions you've been taught to hide. In short, you love them because you're unconsciously trying to complete yourself through them. 3. Chillingly familiar examples. Example 1. The logical woman falls for the emotional artist. She's responsible, controlled, and rational. Then she meets a man who lives through his feelings, an emotional, free-spirited artist. Suddenly, she's completely captivated. Why? Because he awakens a softer, more vulnerable side of her that she was never allowed to show. She doesn't love him. She loves the emotional self she's been disconnected from. Example 2. The mature man falls for the wild rebel. He's stable, predictable, safe. but he's drawn almost uncontrollably to a woman who's impulsive, wild, and unafraid. Why? Because she reflects the part of him that wants to live freely, break the rules, be raw and real. A part he's buried his entire life when projection becomes dangerous. When you love someone, not for who they are, but for what they represent to you, you're more likely to fall into illusion. You put them on a pedestal, ignore the red flags, get hurt when they no longer match the fantasy. And when the projection fades, you feel heartbroken. Why did they change? They didn't. You just finally saw who they really are. 5. How to recognize if you're projecting. Ask yourself, am I overly obsessed with a particular trait they have? Is that trait something I've suppressed or lacked in myself? Could I develop that part within myself instead of depending on them? 6. How to heal and move forward. Step 1. Identify what you're projecting. Write down the top 3 things that drew you to that person. He's so emotionally open. She's so free and fearless. Now ask, have I been missing this part of myself since childhood? Step 2. Reclaim and develop that part within yourself. Love freedom. Practice expressing yourself more freely each day. Love softness. Start offering that same tenderness to yourself. Step 3. Separate the real person from the fantasy. The more self-aware you are, the more you can truly love someone for who they are, not just who you imagine them to be. 7. The key message. The person you love the most is often the mirror of the part of you that needs healing the most. When you understand this, you'll stop loving from a place of lack, clinging from fear of abandonment, hurting from choosing the same wrong people, and you'll start loving with awareness, building real emotional connection, and healing from within. In part 2, we'll explore Anima and Animus, unconscious masculine and feminine images that shape how you love, who you're attracted to, and why you keep getting hurt by the same kind of person. Ready to unlock the next layer of self-understanding? Let's dive deeper. Part 2. Anima and Animus. The unconscious archetypes that quietly choose who you love. Being 1. What are Anima and Animus? Carl Jung believed that within each person exists an unconscious representation of the opposite gender's personality. Anima, the feminine image in a man's psyche. Animus, the masculine image in a woman's psyche. These are not real people, but rather a collection of archetypes, emotions, symbols, and psychological experiences formed early in life, mainly through parental figures, early significant individuals of the opposite sex, cultural symbols, movies, childhood fairy tales. As we grow up, we don't fall in love randomly. Your unconscious mind seeks someone resembling the image of your anima or animus because the mind believes this is love. 2. Anima. The female archetype in a man's mind. A man may feel deeply attracted to a certain type of woman and not know why. Some men are only drawn to gentle, sweet women like their mother. Others are captivated by strong, independent women because their mother was weak and helpless. Some fall for rebellious, detached women because they grew up feeling emotionally out of control. Jung believed that the anima archetype is not just the mother figure, but a sum of what a man feels about women based on his early life experiences. He unconsciously seeks a woman who resembles that archetype, as if trying to restore inner balance. 3. Animus, the male archetype in a woman's mind. Similarly, every woman holds an unconscious image of the ideal man. Strong, smart, free, charming, calm, shaped by her childhood experiences and beliefs. A girl raised by a distant, emotionally unavailable father might end up loving men who are exactly the same. Or if her father was powerful but controlling, she may be drawn to softer, more quiet men to balance out the masculine energy within her psyche. And here's the crucial part. If the animus archetype is not brought into awareness, a woman might blindly chase unhealthy types of men simply because her unconscious mind says, this is love. 4. Real-life examples to help you understand. Case 1. Immature anima. A man always falls for sweet, fragile, innocent women, but later resents them for being dependent and lacking strength. The problem is, he's loving the childlike anima image in his psyche, not the actual woman. Case 2. Immature animus. A woman keeps getting drawn to cold, indifferent men because that's how her father treated her. Even if it hurts, she can't leave because unconsciously that's her idea of the ideal man. 5. How to escape this unconscious trap? Step 1. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I usually fall for? What common traits do they share? Do they resemble anyone from your past? Is this love coming from your current needs or repeating an old pattern? Step 2. Identify the animus archetype within you. For men, what kind of woman captivates you? Where does that image come from? Could it be your mother, grandmother, or a childhood storybook character? For women, what kind of man stirs strong emotions in you? Might he be representing an unconscious archetype? Step 3. Mature your anima and animus. Jung emphasized that true love only comes when we consciously recognize these inner images and begin developing them within ourselves. A man needs to nurture his anima, his emotional side, intuition, softness, and inner listening. A woman needs to empower her animus, her logic, direction, autonomy, and inner strength. When these parts are integrated, you no longer love out of emptiness, but out of wholeness. 6. The core message. You think you're in love with someone, but in reality, you're in love with the image of them reflected from your unconscious. Only when you see this can you love with your whole heart, not with your unhealed wounds. In part 3, we'll explore why you keep repeating the same relationship patterns, even when you try to change, through the hidden love model buried in your unconscious. More importantly, we'll learn how to stop replaying old wounds and start building truly mature love. Part 3. Hidden love patterns, repeating the wound until it heals. 1. A hard truth to true one. You didn't fall in love with the wrong person. You fell in love with exactly the person your subconscious just says so you could repeat an unresolved lesson. Carl Jung called this the unconscious loop. We don't fall in love randomly, we're driven by emotional patterns we haven't yet recognized. 2. How hidden love patterns work. Each of us carries emotional wounds from childhood, often caused by our parents, caregivers, or early emotional experiences. A child who felt abandoned may grow up drawn to emotionally distant partners. A child who had to please others to feel loved may be attracted to someone who's never satisfied. A child who was controlled may fall for someone they constantly have to please just to feel secure. These patterns don't live in our thoughts, they're buried deep in emotional memory, even the unconscious. We don't love someone because they match our present. We love them because they mirror an old wound, giving us a chance to finally heal it. 3. A real-life example. Case 1. Repeating the abandonment pattern. Lynn is a successful and capable woman, but in love, she always ends up with men who seem deeply in love at first, then slowly grow distant. She feels hurt, but clings on, thinking, if I just try harder, maybe he'll come back. In therapy, she realized her father left her and her mother when she was 5. Her subconscious keeps choosing similar men to self-sabotage, but in hopes of rewriting the past. Maybe this time, if she tries hard enough, he won't leave. But unconscious loops can't be broken by effort alone. They must be seen and healed. 4. Signs you're stuck in a hidden love pattern. You keep falling for the same type of person, no matter how much you try to change. You end up in the same storylines: betrayal, abandonment, being taken for granted. You find yourself playing the same role: the rescuer, the sacrificer, the one afraid of losing love. The pain in your relationships feels strangely familiar, like you've lived it before. This isn't fate, it's an unhealed wound repeating itself to be acknowledged. 5. How to break the cycle. Step 1. Observe the pattern. Write down your past relationships. Do you notice any recurring traits in the people or the pain? What role do you usually play in love? The fixer, the martyr, the one who holds on, the one left behind? Putting it into words helps bring your unconscious into the light, turning the unseen into a choice. Step 2. Connect with the original emotion. Ask yourself, when did I first start feeling not loved enough? Who made me feel I had to earn love? This familiar pain, who in my childhood made me feel this way? Looking back at childhood isn't about blame, it's about understanding the roots of emotions that still drive our love lives. Step 3. Make a new choice consciously. Once you recognize the pattern, you reclaim the power to choose. You don't have to love someone who makes you feel not enough. You deserve someone who makes you feel safe, free, and fully yourself. But this only happens when you heal inside, when the wound no longer chooses your partners for you. Our final message to you is this: until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. Love is not a painful destiny, it is a journey of awakening. You don't have to keep repeating what hurt you. You can choose again, love again, and begin again from a place that has finally healed. If this message helped you better understand yourself and your love journey, feel free to share this video or comment below. What love pattern have I repeated? And what do I want to start healing from today? A closing message for you who have been following along. Love is a mirror, not a reward. Dear friend, if you've ever loved the wrong person, if you've ever felt like you're weirdly repeating the same pain, then maybe it's not that you loved the wrong person, but that you're being given an opportunity to understand yourself more deeply, face emotional spaces you've never touched, and choose again, not from your wounds, but from your growth. Love doesn't come to complete you. Love comes to reveal the parts within you that are incomplete, so you have a chance to look inward, heal, and become whole from within. When you understand projection, the concepts of Anima and Animus, and unconscious love patterns, you are no longer a victim of your emotions. You become a conscious being within the whirlwind of emotions. Pause and ask yourself, am I loving with a free heart or a wounded one? Am I choosing someone who truly loves me, or just someone who feels familiar to my wounds? You have the right to choose again. And that journey doesn't begin with finding someone, else it begins by returning to yourself. If this video awakened something in you, please subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into psychology, spirituality, and personal growth. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been stuck in a repeating love pattern? What have you learned from it? And don't forget to hit the notification bell. Future episodes will take you even deeper into the emotional map, relationships, and your journey of awakening. See you in the next videos, where we don't just learn about psychology, but also how to love consciously, live deeply, and heal through understanding. You deserve a love that doesn't come from fear, but from wholeness. And you are already on that journey. Subscribe to the channel at mr.phungchannel to explore more insightful content on psychology, love, and your healing journey. https://to.com/@mr.phungchannel/?sub_confirmation=1